Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Fire Meets Fire, the Wretched Soulz MC series, book number 2 by Manda Mellett. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Prologue. This is not where I want to spend my night. I certainly can think of any number of better plans, one of which would definitely include a drink in my hand and a girl on my lap. But here I am, kicking down the stand. I get off the bike, sharing a chin lift with Legend, who's followed me from the clubhouse. Unlike me, who can think of far better things to do with my time, Legend is bouncing with excitement as though eager to find out the results of his new box of tricks. As Legend walks ahead into the auto shop, I murmur under my breath, we shouldn't fucking need to be here. I can't remember a time when anyone with all their wits about them has stolen from the Wretched Soulz. Everyone knows there'd be quick retribution if they were caught, and probably no funeral as their body would never be found. While not overly worried about someone pilfering, we're not lax in security. Well, we're in more danger of being searched by the pigs and need fair warning. It was a shock to find someone's been stealing from the shop owned by the club. Walking inside, my spirits are lifted by the obvious success of our business. We build customized bikes, as well as providing the usual sales and maintenance service for all models. Evidence of how busy we are is all around me. We've gained quite a reputation, even if some people only like coming to us to boast to their friends how they're not afraid to walk on the wild side. My mood quickly sours as I pass the containers holding spare parts. You'd think with what people know and rightly believe about the Wretched Soulz MC, that the last thing they do is steal from us. But for the last couple of weeks, bits and pieces have been going missing. Not huge things and nothing really valuable, just nuts, bolts, a battery cover, and the odd bottle of engine oil. Insignificant, and as such, it took a while for us to notice anything had been disturbed. Once Weasel, manager of the shop, and our road captain became suspicious, he'd carried out an inventory to check. What he found was that while we maintain and service all models of bikes, everything stolen was for a Harley. We're Soulz. It's our territory. Our reputation alone should be enough to warn people off, but clearly not in this case. After Weasel's revelations were greeted noisily at church, Legend was pulled in to replace old or broken cameras and install new alarms. Now, not even a fly can get in undetected. And starting tonight, we'll be staking the place out to see if we catch our thief red-handed. Legend, computer guru and all-around tech guy, wanted me to see the magic he'd worked. So I agreed to come take the first night shift with him. It's been a while since my fists have seen some action, so I'm looking forward to deploying them tonight. Really hope our light-fingered guy will put in an appearance. At least that would make my missing out on the good things in life worthwhile. It's quiet, dark, the moon hidden by clouds tonight. We've only been here an hour and already I'm bored and fidgety. Fool's errand. It's probable our nemesis has already realized the error of their ways. I glance at the clock again, only to find the hands have progressed by little more than a minute. It must be near midnight, and I'm on my third beer when Legend suddenly exclaims, "There! Look!" Placing my bottle down, I sit forward as a shadowy figure seems to be approaching the security fence that's meant to keep everyone out. It's hard to tell. Much. Their upper body and head are shrouded in a hoodie, and their face hasn't yet been caught on a camera. I'll call Claw. Legend reaches for his phone, his finger hovering over the direct dial key that will summon our enforcer. Nah, hold off a moment. There's only one man, and either Legend or I would easily be able to deal with them by ourselves. There's a practical reason for my instruction, too. The clubhouse is only a mile away, and the sound of a loud bike approaching might scare our thief off before we can capture them. Will you fucking look at that? Legend's eyes widen as he points to the monitor. My jaw drops as I watch the man lithely scale the telegraph pole close to our fence, secure a rope to the top, then launch himself up and over the high steel fence. Once he's on solid ground, he lets go of the rope, which stays dangling, obviously waiting to be used as his means of escape. Guess that's the answer as to how he's been getting in. I'm already out of my seat. I may be impressed with his athleticism, but he's still got a lesson to learn about stealing from the Soulz. My companion starts to copy my action. Nah, you stay here, Ledge. I can handle one asshole like him. Or if I can't take the not very tall and definitely not very built figure who's been robbing us, then it's time to hang up my motorcycle boots. I've honed the ability to move silently over the years. If I don't want you to know I'm near, you won't, not until I've gotten up close and personal. Moving through our darkened building that I know like the back of my hand, I emerge into the yard. There's the thief who's somehow not only managed to open our storeroom door, but also defied the new alarm legend had fitted. I put the what the fuck question to the back of my mind. It's not important for now. What's more critical is that I end this, and before the thief gets more confident, start stealing things of higher value. Stealthily, I come up behind the fucker who's rummaging through our boxes of spare parts, muttering softly as though they're looking for something in particular that's not immediately at hand. Taking my gun out of my cut, I ease off the safety with an audible and unmissable click. With a speed I wasn't expecting, instead of freezing, the thief comes straight for me, kicking the gun out of my hand and planting a fist in my stomach. A split second is all it takes for me to think, game fucking on. No one's going to get the better of me, and definitely not on my turf. Turning the tables, I go on the offensive, using every dirty street fighting trick I ever learned. My opponent has clearly gone to the same school, and for a moment we're evenly matched, despite that I'm far bigger in size. We both land and block kicks and punches. I'm breathing heavily when at last luck's on my side and I get the upper hand. I sweep the feet from under my assailant and he lands heavily on the ground. I come down on him, my fist raised to punch a direct hit on his face, only to pull it at the last moment as legend has chosen that precise time to flick on the overhead lights. You're a fucking bitch, I gasp. To prove it, I sweep the hoodie back off her head, revealing her face. Get off me, she keeps struggling. Give it up. I caught you stealing from us. I'm going to make her pay. I don't care if she's a woman. Thieving is thieving, whatever the sex. She refuses to give in, unfortunately managing to attract the interest of my cock, and I harden as she writhes beneath me. I wouldn't be a man if I didn't suddenly have ideas about what retribution she could make. Yeah, just keep that up, I growl, unable to keep the leer from spreading over my face. In the harsh, bright light, I see her brave expression change and her face pales. All the confidence she had while fighting me seems to have fled. Abruptly, she stills as she becomes aware of the effect her movements have had on my groin. She swallows heavily. Fuck, I'm no rapist. Her palpable fear at the position she's in makes me feel guilty I got any enjoyment from feeling her curves. I'll let you up, but you run, I'll catch you and make you regret it, I warn her. When I see the little nod of acceptance, I lift myself away, strangely regretting losing the softness of her body beneath me. Free, she warily pulls herself up. Once she's standing, she brushes herself off, wincing as she must catch one of the bruises I left. Par for the course, sweetheart. You left some on me, too. Reluctantly, I have to admire her and her fighting skills. She's about 5'10", a good 8 inches shorter than me. I'd mistaken her silhouette for that of a man, as she's got the smallest tits I've ever seen. Her ass is tight and high, and her waist is tiny and pulled in. My cock, which should have stood down now, her proximity has gone, jerks as though telling me he likes what he sees. I should ask what the fuck she's doing, stealing from the club, whether she's got a screw loose or a death wish, but still amazed as, for a moment, it had been touch and go which one of us would win the set we'd just had. What actually comes out of my mouth is, how the fuck did you learn to fight like that?